Charles Headley.
Yeah, Charles.
David, good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. I'm Mike Amos. He's Raymond at Raymond Style Shop right here on South Frontage Street. And if you haven't noticed, he's got a new sign up.
Yeah, got me a sign.
I like it.
August 5th, I'll be there 41 years.
41
I told
years.
them I'm putting me a sign on the Troy end of my barber shop. I'm going to put on there, my first 40, being that I was at that location August 5th, 17, I was there 40 years. So August 5th, I'll be 41, so I'm starting on my second 40. That's what I'm put on my
You've been
sign.
cutting hair longer than that, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been cutting in Troy 57 years.
But now, you'll never beat Red Shiver's record, though, will you?
Oh, Red Stetson.
Red Stetson.
I don't know. I ain't but 75. Red cut one at 95.
Did he really?
Yes, sir, Red.
He cut one at 95. You reckon he cut his boy's hair?
No, it was a customer when he was working on birds.
Okay, first caller of the day. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
Where you calling from?
Vestavia, Mount Brook line.
Well, of course, somebody told me it was raining hard up there this morning. Is that right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be raining all day, like 80% chance.
Isn't
I'm
that
not looking
great?
forward to it. Gotta get on the road.
You know, when I work in a barber shop all day long, it doesn't bother me if it's raining outside. What do you think?
That's right.
Hey, in fact, you sort of hope it is raining. Nobody else can have
No,
fun.
I like the rain. We get the rain.
Yeah, my worst thing is driving in the rain in Birmingham, Alabama. It's probably gonna be about at least 5 wrecks by the time I get on the interstate.
Mike, today on our show, we self-proclaimed today Raymond Ledford Day in Pike County, Alabama. You've been cutting hair how many years?
57 years.
57 years, Mike. And, of course, Paleface is gone. Junior's gone.
Junior's gone. Red is gone.
Red's gone. All these great Bobby Griffin's been gone a long time.
Yeah. I got a.
You didn't tell me Raymond's gonna be on today.
Raymond. Well,
I called yesterday after he left.
Yeah, that's right.
We got the homecoming this weekend at the Baptist Home.
Okay.
So world famous day for
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big day for
former residents.
That's right, and of course, my bit of history
How many years has it been now since they closed?
2000. Closed it in 2000.
So it's been 18 years, Mike.
Yeah. We have
It's hard to believe.
We have a homecoming every 3 years.
And of course, used to have it in Montgomery at the.
No, that's a different now.
Oh, it is.
That's Ricky Thompson, James Davis.
Yeah. Well, Ricky will be here this weekend, won't he?
Oh yeah, Ricky's coming.
Yeah,
They'll be
James
here.
and all them.
Yeah.
Do they still actually have a Baptist Children's Home anywhere in the state?
They got they probably actually got more children. They 2000 they came down with a regulation. Well, before that, the government says you can't get a child 50 miles from his environment. You know, and just like me, I'd be in the mountains up there around the ones they hadn't cut down around Morris, Alabama, with the coal mines. They cut them down, cut the mountains down right there on 31, where I was living. Shoot, I'd be making moonshine in them hills up there if I was still up there.
I know where Morris is.
Cherry remind me of that.
In fact, Morris is not far from Leeds, Alabama, Mike.
We caught a lot of fish. I left up there when I was 8 years old, but I could catch a red hawk sucker when I was 4 years old.
What was it, a red hard sucker?
Red hawks. They pull like a red hawk. That's what they call them.
Now, we used to go down behind my house to the creek, and we'd get a stick and get just a regular string, not even a fish string, sometimes a regular string, and drop it over. We'd catch these crawfish, called these big old blue crawfish, and then those horny heads. You remember them?
Horny head minnow.
Horny heads, and some of them be 6-8 inches long.
What kind of line did you have?
Well, sometimes it was just a string, but most time it was a fish line, and I'd have some kind of
We started out. My brothers, they were older than me. I was
just a kid.
I was a baby. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and we'd go to the branch.
Yeah. And some areas you walk down the creek, and some areas were dark, and those dark areas is where it was deep enough to have something.
Yeah, in the deep holes. But 4 and 5 years old, my brother.
I bet there are people out there right now that said, I did the same thing.
Yeah. we had a sewing thread with a bent straight pin. That's what that was our hook.
Oh, so that's how you did it, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Straight pin, and they'd bend it, and the head on it, you know, you keep your line from coming off. But we'd catch some red, them old horny heads that was that long. We ate them.
Oh yeah, you did. It was hard.
And then these like this, we fish with.
Ate a horny head. I can't believe it.
Oh, we ate
but some of them were bigger. And then those, I tell you, some of those crawfish were sort of wicked looking, man. I mean, some of them had
those
pinchers.
blue
one.
pinchers.
Yeah.
I got bit by one when I was, well, he pinched me. He didn't bite me, he pinched me with that pincher. It cut you like a...
Ladies and gentlemen, Raymond Ledford, we self-proclaimed today, Mike, and it's the 21st day of June, Raymond Ledford Day in Pike County, Alabama. And, of course, if you go by Raymond's Style Shop, just give him a honk to know you're thinking about him.
We appreciate it.
You still making your canes?
Yeah, I make a few all along. My time got away from me.
And ladies and gentlemen, he makes more canes and has more canes. Mike, you ought to hear the prices on some of those canes.
Yeah, Mike,
I got a bunch of white deer heads in there. I didn't know there was white.
Oh yeah, white deer, northern Pike County.
They bleached out from the sun and the fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
Mike, I got an Alabama stick. It's a natural. Pulled it out of the ground. It had elephant eyes. I cut roots off for the ears, and the trunk turned up on the old root that I pulled out of the ground. It turned up just like like an elephant's trunk, the top of its trunk there.
I think I've seen that one before.
Yeah, but I got me some deer horns. I said I put the ivory on there.
Yeah, he's got some pictures in that store that are worth something too. Of Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and people like that. He's got. I tell you what, Raymond, it's a very interesting story. They ought to. You know what, that show on WSFA TV, County Road guy, they ought to go to your style shop.
They came down.
They did. Discovery in Alabama, that would be good to go.
They did, no question about it.
You know, when I first got started in McCain's, I had me a rodeo bull, an Indian chief, and different things. Miss Betty Oliver, Chris Oliver's mother, she painted my cane. She'd paint with oil paint.
Yeah.
And I had one look like a rodeo bull. So I told her, I said, paint his eyes red when he comes out to shoot. He's going to be ill. But he looks just like one. She put a tie down on him, you know.
Yeah.
He's got the hump under his stomach, belly, you know, and between his front legs, and then he's got a hump on his back.
Exactly.
Looks just like one.
Yeah. Raymond, of course, tell us about what's going to happen Saturday.
We got the homecoming Saturday at the Baptist Home, and we've been talking about playing and all this all the time. I need to tell you something about the Baptist Home. We need to come up with some deep stuff today.
Yeah.
You know, we had good house parents. Each house had house parents, and when I came there when I was 8 years old, 1951.
It was a scary feeling, wasn't it?
Not that bad. I had two big brothers there.
Yeah.
They were going to take my back, you know. When
Are they still living?
No, both of them died. This past 17 and, well, both of them died in 17, February and in August. But, you know, they were already there and settled in, so when we got there, we was anxious.
But you had to go. You didn't stay in the cottage with them, though, did you?
Oh,
you
no,
had to go to
we
the little
was
boy's cottage, didn't you? Little boy, you just a little boy, Raymond.
8 to
scared
12.
to death.
No, we wasn't scared.
And kept getting up in the middle of the night running
Well,
off.
I had Fuzz with me.
Fuzz, you had Fuzz.
Leon.
Was he your first friend?
Oh,
Fuzz?
that's my brother.
Oh, yeah, Fuzz, that's right. He was with you. Yeah.
He was 2. I was 8. Fuzz was 10. Ron was 12.
Yeah.
And Charlie was 13 and a half.
And you were wondering why they put you boys, little boys on this end, and these pretty girls on the other end.
We didn't.
You sort of wondered why they did that. Is that right?
They told you couldn't go west up about 2 o'clock on Saturday. We'd have a watermelon cut, and we could go.
Well, you mean y'all have watermelon almost every Saturday?
Oh yeah. We was rating.
But you couldn't ever get a Coca-Cola, though, could you?
Oh, yeah, we had folks. We'd slip off to Professor Field and Mahomes grocery.
On Academy Street?
On Academy Street. We went to see them.
Did anybody ever get caught doing that?
Oh, they catch you, but they didn't too much. They wasn't too bad at you.
Just wear your little fanny out.
Yeah.
Did you ever get your little fanny worn out?
About 3 times a day sometimes.
Was it pretty rough? Did it
Oh,
hurt?
no.
Did it hurt, Raymond?
I told them when we was, 8, we started getting them whippings. By the time we was 12, you saw the movies with these, family
Raymond,
movies.
stand up. Let's see now, Raymond. You stand up and you lean up against the desk and you
bend
you say,
over.
"Oh God, bend over."
Bend
whoa.
over the desk. But I told them when, you see these children on these family movies,
Yeah.
they'd go in there and put a book or a towel in the back of their pants. We didn't need them. We already had the calluses from getting the whipping.
Oh, man.
We was already
Mr.
tightened
Shirey or Mr. Cox? Who gave the worst whipping?
up.
Or Mr. Blanton?
Mr. Blanton was rated right there. Clyde Headley wouldn't never reach and get you, but if he had, you'd be hurt. Now,
Yeah,
I'm
but
telling you.
Clyde
Mr. Clyde Headley was fine. He'd just tell you something.
You couldn't wait to go to the barn with Mr. Headley, where Mr. Headley was, could you? Milk
That's
cows.
right. Well,
You smell like what? In fact, you sort of smell like sour milk today. You've been milking a cow, haven't you?
We done took
Get
that
away from
shower.
me, man. Listen, I don't. Ma'am, Wonder has to sit next to him in school. He smells like sour milk.
We done took a shower.
He's been milking a cow since 4 o'clock this morning, and he smells like sour milk. Why do I have to sit next to him?
Dude, right. But,
I mean, of course, anybody listening right now, Sorority Hill, Troy University owns is where the Alabama Baptist Children's Home is.
That's right.
Now.
Yeah.
How many of those original houses are from the original, I guess, Baptist Children's Home? Are any of those still standing?
the 2, the Brown Cottage, the first one coming down Elm Street on the left.
Yeah.
That'd
The
be
first
the
one
kind-
on the
the kind
corner
of
at the
house.
backstop.
The
The one at the backstop. That's the Brown Cottage. It was there.
That was
and
a big.
then,
That's a big one too.
Then, Then the Collie Cottage. I went there and
You busted one out of the college.
No,
it
we
was
didn't bust
softball,
no
didn't you?
window. Well, I hit one up on top of the Andrews Cottage.
Okay.
Baseball, but I didn't hit a window. Got in trouble over that. I never
Yeah.
had hit a ball.
Yeah.
Ronnie Carroll, a giant, Ronnie was pitching, and Mr. Brown was telling you boys get on to the house. Go home now.
Yeah. Going
And,
to the other end of the
I told Ronnie, I
campus.
said I'm gonna hit one more. I couldn't hit a baseball. I could hit a softball pretty good, but Bo Gaylord strike me out with 3 pitches. That roundhouse curve,
Yeah.
he'd pay it every time. But I hit it up on the balcony up there at the
Yeah,
Andrews
that's right.
Cottage.
That's a good
up there.
lick, yeah.
Yeah, the Andrews Cottage. It was
Did
built
you get
later.
worn out because of it?
I just couldn't go back over there for about 3 weeks.
Oh, and that
He
was
called
bad.
Mr. McGee.
Did he really?
Yeah, I could go all the way. I could go to the. I still got to go to the.
Yeah. And of course, every Sunday y'all used to play softball down
Played
there, and the
softball.
girls would be watching y'all. Y'all be trying to be heroes in front of the
yeah.
girls.
Ronnie Carroll, he'd catch a ball behind his back. We'd put our hand under our leg and catch it.
Well, let's say this. Let's talk about something this morning. And he was sort of my idol too. But your idol, Wallace Hogan, who was idolized. I mean, idolized by every kid at the home, died recently.
Recently, yeah, he was.
The great Wallace Hogan. I want to say number 4.
Oh, yeah.
I want to
let's
say his
see.
number was number 4.
No, could have
I
been.
might be wrong, but Tom Murphy, if you're watching this morning, but the great Wallace Hogan, who y'all thought hung the moon, is that right?
Oh yeah. We watched him. We was in Montgomery. And they was
When he
talking.
ran that long touchdown
Yeah,
against
they was
Robert
talking
E. Lee?
about how Hobson.
Yeah, Carl Hobson, yeah.
Carl Hobson for Robert E. Lee. He was supposed to be so fast.
Yeah.
And all they was talking about, Carl, he's so fast, won't nobody. First play from scrimmage.
This was at Crampton Bowl in Montgomery.
First play from scrimmage, Wallace ran right up the middle, left Carl Hobson standing there, ran for a touchdown.
And I hear Pappy Thomas saying, Hogan, Hogan, and the game just started. Hogan,
Yeah.
Hogan, and I'm a little boy jumping up and down, listening to it on the radio.
Yeah.
And you lucky guys.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all went on that blue,
You know,
y'all went on that blue and white bus to Montgomery, didn't you?
Everybody thought we was deprived because we was at the home. I told them, I said, I look around and you know, I'd like to see my buddies there, but a lot of them couldn't afford it. And we were sitting there. We went to Elba and
Yeah,
Duluth.
that's right.
We rode in the back
You
of
were there in
about
Greenville when Columbus Patman reached up and grabbed that goose.
duck.
Duck.
Mallard
now.
duck.
All right, he said mallard duck, but boy, that was hey, how do you catch a mallard duck? Now, I can see you catching a duck.
He circled the field about 2 or 3 times. And
This is
Columbus,
a true story.
He was coming over they were in the huddle, and Columbus jumped up and caught him. I said he wrung his neck, but Columbus told me, I figured we'd be eating him.
You took him over to the sideline, didn't he?
Yeah, he carried him to the coach over at the sideline. I figured he wrung his neck, and we'd get to eat him, you know.
Yeah.
I'd help him dress him when he got home.
Oh, God.
But anyway, I think a game warden came and got him and turned him loose.
That was true. Of course, he was one of y'all's heroes, too.
Oh, yeah, Columbus was.
The great Columbus Patman. And, of course, he was big and strong, and so was Wallace Hogan. And, you know, and Hogan was my hero, too, now.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, I said in that stand, man, and Tom Murphy, he was my hero. And Harry and Larry Ray were my heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Williford was my hero.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, of course, he was one of my best friends, but he was my hero, you know.
Oh, yeah, Richard was tough. He was a good fellow.
Yeah, no question. And, you know, some of the greats that came through Troy over here. Ronald Giddings, boy, I loved him. How good was he?
You know, they won the championship.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. William Davis, you know, played on that team.
Yeah.
The great Freddie Howard, no longer with us, you know, on that team.
Yeah.
Saw Bay Crow the other day. You remember Bay
yeah.
Gerald? Y'all cut hair together, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. He cut hair.
You know, of course, he's the other part of Crow's Chicken. In fact, he had the Crow's Chicken in Sylacauga.
Yeah.
And they make chicken salad. And they say people from all around order their chicken salad. You know, so your chicken salad is a big thing. But you throw your nose up at a chicken salad, don't you?
I'd eat it. I eat everything.
But let me ask you this. And he said he'll eat everything, and it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You know, if y'all killed a possum, somebody killed a possum, I catch possums and take them out outside town and let them go. And that's the ugliest, nastiest looking thing in the world. And y'all used to eat them?
Oh, yeah. If we didn't have enough rabbits.
I mean, you actually look forward to eating
that possum looked like old pork chop laying on
you said.
Had fat on, you know, the fat around the pork chop.
And you're talking
Just
about
like
an ugly possum.
That possum had that fat. He was fine.
Did y'all have sweet potatoes with it or what?
Oh, we fried them.
Y'all fried them? Fried possum. Hey, y'all come in here. The cook's got fried possum. That cook would cook anything y'all wanted. Is that right?
She says I'll cook anything except for rattlesnake. Do not bring
she didn't want to bring
a
a
rattlesnake in there. She'd get you with that long butcher knife if you come in there with a rattlesnake.
I had some yard people, ladies and gentlemen, I've told this story so many times, and some people chuckle about it, some people didn't, but ran up on my yard guy ran up on a rattlesnake the other day, and instead of killing the rattlesnake, he runs upstairs and said, Miss Amos, there's a snake out here. My wife said, well, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I mean, here, this is a grown man running from snakes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm like you. I hunt snakes. I mean, I with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, listen, I've killed many a snake over the years. And in fact, I go hunt them a little bit.
Yeah, we killed 42 cottonmouths one week. And then the next.
42.
And we was talking about it at the shop, Pale and Johnny Scoggins and Walter Morgan. We went on the branch and it was drying up in the fall, you know. We killed 42 that week. Mooneyham heard us talking about it. Spurgeon Mooneyham.
Spurgeon Mooneyham, the shoe man.
He's a world famous.
Oh yeah, I know him well. Yeah.
But they would tell a story on Mr. Mooneyham.
Bring us a cup of coffee.
He told a story on Mr. Mooneyham. Says Coot Smith was his brother-in-law.
And that was Dan Smith, dad, and up in Trojan Terrace.
Yeah. Anyway, no, Dan's daddy, and Dan and Ben, them, that's...
No, Coot Ligger. You got it wrong. You said Smith. It was Coot Ligger. That was Spurlock's son, family folks?
No.
Not Spurlock, but...
Mooneyham. He married Miss Virginia.
Yeah.
She was... Moonsmith was Dan and
That's
Ben's
right,
daddy,
yeah, that's right.
And Harry Blair's wife.
Had Smith Brothers
Auto, yeah.
Yeah.
But they said Mooneyham, Buddy called him from Mobile and said, Mooneyham, come on down, the green trout's running. And Mooneyham,
Thank you.
I bought it now.
Get Raymond a cup.
I gotta make it a pot.
Oh, okay. You've been drinking it all up, haven't you?
Got down there, he got down there before 4 o'clock, and they got him about 12 dozen big shrimp.
Yeah.
They got the bait shrimp probably that long. But anyway, they were fishing, and about 10:30, Mooneyham says, I want to see one of them green trout. You know, he'd come all the way down there to see him. The man said, you're sitting knee deep in them right now. They were bass about, you and Mooneyham thought they were bass. And they call them green trout in the bait. But he said, you sitting knee deep in them right now. But Mooneyham and them, they would go to Florida. They had an Indian buddy down there that owned the pond.
Yeah.
And he'd tell Mooneyham, bring the webbing,
And
the nets.
The nets, yeah.
And said, the blue jaws is on the bed, bring the webbing. So they filled up the back of about a 55 Chevrolet pickup. They iced it down solid, and it was full of brim.
Yeah.
They had it slammed.
Well, they
full.
used to use
But
use
the Indian on that
dynamite.
lake, they could do anything
I know they used to
want.
use dynamite too, didn't they?
I don't know about Mooneyham
Yeah.
and the dynamite.
You ever have you ever heard of people damming up areas and then make it muddy it up and the fish come to the top and you reach in there and grab them? Have you heard of that?
We'd rather sing. We sang.
They used to do that in the river.
Yeah, you kill the little ones too. We'd sing and throw back what we didn't want.
Yeah.
But
But one thing about it, I mean, coon. All right, if you had a choice over a possum or a coon, what would you pick?
Oh, you'd eat the coon.
The coon's better.
Yeah.
When somebody
Pale makes a coon hash.
Pale used to make a coon hash.
Make a coon hash. It was fine.
With potatoes and carrots.
Just stir that.
You mean that coon? That coon was good to eat.
Good,
with it white meat or dark meat?
Oh, it was just regular meat. About like a rabbit, rabbit.
Now I like rabbit now.
Yeah.
Your rabbit's a delicacy.
We'd kill old swamp buck, and a coon will weigh 8 or 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And we kill a swamp buck rabbit. His leg would be big as that coon's leg.
Yeah. So when y'all went coon hunting, y'all ate the coon. If the dog would tree the coon, y'all shoot it?
I can talk about it now because it's kind of against the law, but every possum was $2.50.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a box of shells at Lawrence
right.
Hardware.
Yeah.
We go up
So
there.
y'all used to sell the coon. $5
for a coon and $2.50
and people would pay that kind of money.
Oh yeah.
They pay $5 for a coon?
Oh yeah.
How many would y'all have sometime?
We'd kill 4 or 5 at a time.
And y'all had to have a good dog. Now it's really something.
Now out there we didn't have the dogs. We'd go to a persimmon tree.
Yeah.
And then we'd shoot coons out of trees when we was hunting in the daytime.
And they were up there.
But
the coons were in the trees a lot.
Oh yeah.
Is that when Marcel climbed up that tree and he thought he was going up at the coon, but he got up there with a wildcat, and old Marcel said, "Y'all just shoot up in here, 'cause one of us got to have some relief."
Oh right. But though you get you a box of shells for $2.50, 25 numbers, 8s or 6s.
So you actually had a wonderful time living at the Baptist Children's Home.
I tell them since I got to Troy, Alabama, I've led a charmed life.
Yeah, and
all of my life.
Of course, you're the godfather of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home, and I mean, really, if you want to know anything about the Children's Home, drop by Raymond's Style Shop on South Running Street. You've told many a story there, haven't you?
We'll tell them. The day Johnny Scoggins graduated, May the 27th, 1961.
Yeah.
Pale had graduated in '60, and he moved uptown. So I told Johnny, I said, I think I'll just move up there with y'all.
Was that before you graduated?
Oh yeah,
They let you do it.
Mr. Collier, I'll tell you that. Finish that story. Mr. Collier was the superintendent.
Great guy. He died not too long
I moved
ago.
my stuff up there in the apartment. We were in the apartment on Bruny Street, right across from the Alamo.
Yeah, I know
You
where
know
that
where,
is.
and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
The Amoco station
Yeah, that's
across
right. Good food.
the other corner, yeah. And we lived in the upstairs apartment. But anyway, May the 27th, I told him I'm moving uptown with you. So
Now, see, you were making money. You were working at Junior Bird.
Junior Bird, I'm making pretty good money part time, you know. But anyway, I went and told Mr. Collier. I said, Mr. Collier, I moved uptown with Johnny and Pale. He said, you can't do that. I said, Mr. Collier, I've already done it. I moved up there today. He just kind of pushed back. He knew the war was fixing to start and Raymond was going to lose.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's a smart man.
Yeah.
He came from Redstone Arsenal to take that job at the Baptist home. Probably a $30,000 or $40,000 cut a year. And, anyway, he just pushed back. He says, I tell you what I'll do. He said, I'm worried about you finishing high school. I don't believe you'll graduate. I said, Mr. Collier, I'm going to go to school every day of the year.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, but I'm afraid you won't finish. He said, I'm going to make you a deal right now. You can come back to the Baptist home anytime you get ready. You come home, you'll have your bed in the same spot. It'll be just like you never have walked away from here. You hadn't left. You come back at 4 o'clock in the morning, midnight, 2 a.m., whatever, the middle of the day, whatever. When you walk back out there and say, Mr. Collier, I have come home.
Yeah.
He said, you'll have everything just like it was before you left. And so, you know, he was a good man.
Yeah.
I went every day of the year to school.
Yeah. What was your cut back then of a haircut?
We 30%.
All right. So if it cost $1, you made you made 30 cents off of it. That wasn't bad.
No.
How many heads would you cut a week?
On Saturday, we could get me and Pale.
Would he pay you at the end of the week? I would pay
on Monday.
Yeah. You on Today in L.A.? How you doing?
Mike, just Max. How you this morning?
Max Howell calling in from Fulton, Mississippi. Max, I'm sitting here with the godfather of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home.
You rate me too.
You remember the Alabama Baptist Children's Home where Bobby Marlowe ran the fields?
I remember, yeah.
Do you ever remember the name Wallace Hogan? Have you ever heard that name?
No,
he was one of the great stars back then. I tell you what he did. I tell you how good he was, Max. Of course, with Max Howell, ladies and gentlemen, one of the leading football analysts and sports analysts in the country, is on the phone with us. We're so fortunate. I've got Raymond here. You've had Raymond cut your hair before, Max. I know.
A lot of times.
At Raymond's Barbershop, you remember that?
Bird's Barbershop.
At Bird's Barbershop.
Oh, man, listen.
You remember cutting Raymond's hair? Yeah, it's Coach Max Howell. Who knows you, Max?
Yeah, we cut it. We cut it at Bird's uptown on the, right next to the
cut Billy Atkins too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
But y'all got scared when he walked in there, didn't you?
No, we didn't.
You thought he was going to wear every one of y'all out, didn't you?
I cut a piece of Coach. I cut his ear.
That's right.
Coach
Listen to this, Max. This is a great story.
I cut a piece off of his ear with my scissors, and it was hanging on.
It started bleeding real bad.
Yeah, it was bleeding, but it was hanging on by a little old thread of skin, and I just pulled it off. And, put it over there with a paper towel, and I could stop the bleeding. We had some more hot stuff.
You were real nervous shaking it. I can see him right now. His hand be shaking, cutting Coach Atkins' hair.
Oh, Coach, he was. We was afraid he'd deal with us like he did the football players. You know all about that. He'd fine them $50 or they'd run 50 miles.
Oh God! Have you ever heard that, Max?
I heard that story. I didn't know that. I didn't remember that.
You didn't remember it. He didn't tell everybody.
But when you got a haircut...
Back then, you couldn't tell everything you knew.
Yeah.
You know?
That's where everybody went was to Bird's Barbershop. And Raymond was a young man. And, of course, you've been a huge Troy supporter for years. You've got a style shop on. In fact, if you're ever in Troy, that's the place you need to stop by to see those guys.
Yeah, but it's good to hear from you, Coach.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I tell Mike all the time, I love my time in Troy. I had 2 different stints there. I went to school there, graduated there, came back, got a master's degree there, then 3 years later, came back and coached there.
Oh yeah.
And I have to think the years that I spent there, really, as the age I am now, I get a chance to look back and reflect the best years of my life. I can promise you.
See, I've been in Troy since 1951, June the 5th, 1951, and I told Mike, the day I got to Troy started my life. I've led a charmed life right here in Troy, Alabama.
He was 8 years old. He came from Birmingham and
Morris,
Alabama. And they put him in the Alabama Baptist Children's Home, and the rest is history. He has become the godfather of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home.
Coach Amos.
Let me ask you this, Max. I want to ask you this, Max. When you were growing up and playing ball, and then when you were coaching, had you ever heard of some of the players that came out of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home? Do you know?
The one everybody knew was Bobby Marlowe.
Yeah, but everybody used to say that Troy's got an advantage. They got all those children's home boys, and at one time they did have a bunch of them.
Troy High School and Charles Henderson was rated pretty good.
And of course, they played Robert E. Lee back then. And this Hogan guy, I was going to tell you this, Max, and I go back pretty far with Robert E. Lee High School and with Cliff Little, the first quarterback. You remember him?
Oh, yeah. Listen, quickly, let me interrupt. I remember, I'm from Prattville.
I know it.
He lead the first game they ever played.
Oh, yeah, and they killed y'all, I bet, didn't they?
No, it wasn't that bad. In fact, we led them in the fourth quarter. They ended up beating us like 28-14.
Well, Tom Jones was the coach, and boy, his record was unbelievable. I think 100.
Oh yeah, he did.
I think he won 114 and lost 6 or 7 his whole career up there. But back then, Lee was a dominant. Yeah, that's right, and they were a dominant team. But Troy took a team up there in 1957 or 56. It was Rice. Bill Rice was a junior, and Wallace Hogan from the Baptist Children's Home was a senior, and he played quarterback, and he used to run around in the backfield and all that. But on the first play from scrimmage, Troy against Robert E. Lee, and that was back in 1957, he went 70-some yards for a touchdown against Lee. Lee won the game 14-12, I think. Cecil Dozier, one of the Dozier twins. You know Kerry Dozier. Kerry played on that team, and his twin brother Cecil scored a touchdown late and had it called back. But those Baptist Children's Home guys, starting with the orphan boy from Troy, Bobby Marlowe, and Van Hoos, the great writer from the Birmingham News. You remember him, don't you, Max? Alf Van Hoos.
Alf Van Hoos,
yeah. You had Benny Marshall and all those sports writers. Everybody was talking about the greatest running back. I get emotional when I say this, but I like to say it because it was a thrill. But they were sitting in a room one day, Max, all these sports guys, and one guy said, "Who is the greatest running back that ever played at Alabama?" And one guy raised his hand and said, "Johnny Musso." And another one raised his hand and said, "Bobby Humphrey." Another guy said, "Wilbur Jackson." And when it got around to Alf Van Hoos, he said, "Guys, all of those guys were great players, but give me the orphan boy from Troy any day of the week, Bobby Marlowe," and I almost get tears when I say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he was a great one. But a lot of kids from the Baptist Children's Home went on and played high school football at Troy High and Charles Henderson. But tell us what's going on, Max.
Not a whole lot. Just kind of a little quiet. We all can, the ready. This is the quiet before the storm. All the magazines are out now.
Yeah, I know it. I hadn't seen. I've got Lindy's and I've got Athlon. I haven't seen my buddies. That's so accurate. What's his name?
Phil Steele.
Phil Steele. Is he out? Is he got?
Yeah. He came out about the first part of last week.
All right. Well, I need to pick it up because it's pretty accurate. Raymond was here this morning, Max, to talk about they're having a big reunion this weekend.
Yeah, we having at the Alabama Baptist Children's Home. We got the reunion. We have it every 3 years. They closed in 2000, but we still have our reunion. But I want to tell you, Troy's playing Boise State here in Troy. You need to come to that game if you can.
He's going to come the next week because they're going to honor the '68 national championship
He
team.
needs
He
to come both
them.
weeks in.
I know it.
You need to come see us beat Boise State.
And I follow him very closely.
Oh, I know.
I was in Montgomery 2 weeks ago with Neil Brown in his golf tournament. I go to that every year, and I've had a chance to introduce Neil 2 or 3 different times across the state at different clubs. Because I've stayed pretty. Judy Morgan and I are best friends, and they have been for 25 years. Yeah. So I've stayed pretty close to that program down there.
Max, before I get going, and ladies and gentlemen, this is sad news on the golfing news, especially from Alabama. The pride and joy of Alabama on the pro golf tour for years and years was Hubert Green, and the great Hubert Green died yesterday. Max.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that, Mike.
And you know, he had been battling throat cancer for years, and
right.
but he won. You know, it's really amazing. He won 17 tournaments. That's pretty good.
That was very, very good. And you know, and he came along at the time where golf didn't get quite, you know, the amount of publicity that it probably gets now. And he was an excellent golfer, and you know, he kind of, I don't want to say radar, national scene, but everybody in this part of the country knew who Hubert Green was.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Of course, you know that's sad news, and I used to watch him play a lot. And then he lived down in Panama City, down at what's that area down there? Kenny Campbell's got a place down there. But he lived down in Panama City, and I used to play down at Signal Hill, and he had a certain area where they let him hit shag balls, and he later on moved over to the Ombre. But he'd be sitting, and you could walk up to him and talk to him while he was hitting golf balls. And boy, he was good. He was really good. Of course, Raymond, your deal starts at what time on?
8 o'clock. We'll start registering at the Bostinsky building, the College Center.
Yeah, exactly.
And then about 10 o'clock, we'll go up to the old administration building that back.
And have a program?
We'll have our program, and
will Mildred Nelson be there? If she is,
I
want to go.
Come or not.
How about Viola Beard?
Oh.
Hey, they also, Max, not only they produce good football players and athletes, they produce beautiful girls. And if you went to the Alabama Baptist Children's Home, Max, you got a full scholarship to Howard College. That you know, of course, Stanford University now, but most all those girls went to Howard.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Or you know, now Stanford University. But you know, they provided them with an education if they wanted one.
That's right.
Raymond got his education with scissors, cutting Billy Atkins' ear. Hey, if I'd cut Billy Atkins' ear, I would have run out of the. I would have run out of the barbershop and headed south.
Billy was so tough. He didn't even flinch.
Yeah, he probably didn't.
He didn't even
but you know, I
move
hear him say, "Well, gosh, I go in there, and that stupid guy cut my ear, and I'm bleeding." And
he probably didn't ever mention.
You know what? The reason I say that, I got my ear cut by the dermatologist recently, and you know how that goes, don't you, Max?
Oh yeah, listen, you know, but Billy didn't have a lot of hair to begin with.
We was cutting around the edges,
Max, I'm sure he probably cut your hair and Philip Crill's hair.
We did. We cut Philip Krill.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you ever wanted a fish fry around here, everybody goes to Raymond and says, "Hey, we need some fish for the fish fry." And have you caught 1 million fish in your day? Now, to be honest with me,
probably more.
More? You think you've caught more than 1 million little fishes in your day?
Big ones, little.
Unbelievable.
And you cook most of them. Have you ever had much grease? Have you ever eaten much grease in your day?
A pretty good bit.
Now, a coon has a lot of grease, and so does a possum.
No, coon's not very greasy. The possum's got the fat on it.
The possum's got the grease in it.
Now, you know, Mac's a big cooker. Of course, it really is. He cooks for a lot of different people. Raymond is our cook. You know, every town has a cook, and Raymond is Troy's cook. And I reckon, Max, you're Fulton, Mississippi's cook.
Yeah, I kind of just float around. I told you, Mike, I got about 3 or 4 groups I cook for, and I don't get too far away anymore. A couple of my guys have got hunting clubs on the North Park. Got river fish house, a big fish camps on the south side. So I kind of alternate back and forth with those guys. I got about 15 to 20 of them total, and they have different groups in for different events. But I've got Reverend, I don't know about you how you do it, but I really got kind of a scam going on. These guys do everything. All I do is show up and cook. They buy all the food, and I don't know. I volunteer a lot of my time.
Copy, Frank.
These guys pay me to come do it.
Oh yeah.
I know exactly. Of course, Max is very well known in
I
the.
get a chance to, and I get a chance to take all the leftovers home also.
That ain't bad.
All right, this time of year, Max is extremely busy. Of course, talking to groups all over the country, and I'd hate to know your schedule, Max, this time of year. Now, especially now, I might want to come up and visit with you at the SEC meetings, and that's the big kickoff.
This year.
They're not going to do it?
No, they're in Atlanta.
Oh, they're in Atlanta. Well, that makes it even more fun.
Yeah, that's July the 13th, I believe, through the 17th. So it's 4 days.
All right, yeah.
We need 2 cups and 1 cup.
That's good right there. Raymond, you need more?
You want half of
Let me just say this. This morning, Max, we got Frank Sadler Jr. serving us coffee.
Wow.
Frank Sadler Jr., of course, son of the legendary Frank Sadler Sr. Of course, Raymond, tell us now, all right, y'all, what time do y'all eat? That's what's the most important thing.
Around 12.
All right, now what are y'all going to cook? I know it'll be good.
We don't cook it. We cater.
You get hooks? What?
Lee and Scoggins, Corley, Johnny Scoggins' sister,
right.
she runs the show, and she gets somebody to cater it in, and we'll eat dinner at 12. I don't really know what we're gonna have, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. Raymond, like I said, Max, he's like you. He cooks for a lot of people, and of course, Kenny Campbell, you cook for Kenny. Of course, Kenny's got now Max. I know some of your guys, your buddies got some good setups, but Kenny, tell him what kind of setup Kenny Campbell has for big cooking.
Johnny Scoggins, he's one of the main cookers for Kenny now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't cook for Kenny. But
tell us about his equipment. What he has.
He's got smokers and grills, and then big pots with they got I reckon water running, hot water, oil running in the bottom.
Yeah.
And the crumbs go down in the bottom, and it never burns your grease.
Can you believe that?
They'll fry a pile of fish and want the grease.
But what I'm saying, he has and then the green egg. He's probably got 3 or 4 of them, maybe 5 of them.
They don't use them.
They don't.
They got a big smoker.
All right,
Johnny built it for them.
Now, Max, they've got a new grill out now, and it's American made. And our buddy here, Scott and Lana Hartley, sell it, and it's the exact replica of the green egg, but it's American made, and it's a lot cheaper.
Well, I know what Raymond's talking about. Mainly, those are built for smokers, and and usually that's a long time cook, Mike. If people do for big groups, they got to get, get that meat in and out.
Cook all day long.
And Lloyd Taylor from Fort Walton, he cooks a lot too, and he's down there, and he and Raymond would be best buddies, wouldn't you think?
Oh, we cook with Lloyd.
Yeah,
Raymond, my oldest son, Raymond.
That's right.
I carried about 100 brim and about 20 or 30 pounds of bass fillets and backbones and all. I call them backbones. A lot of folks throw that in the gut pile, but I keep them. I call them appetizers.
Yeah.
They got about 1 inch of meat on them, on that backbone. But
well, those restaurants down at the beach were throwing away the throats, and boy, now grouper throats or snapper throats are big menu item.
But on that cooking, Lord, he brought 40 pounds of grouper nuggets.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Big chunks of grouper, and Raymond was doing the cooking that day.
Yeah.
He cooked all of that for him,
But you know what? Max, we don't really thank folks enough because that's not easy work. Cooking is not easy work.
It's not. People has never done that, but if you're doing it for a large group, that's
right.
You better be in pretty good shape if you're gonna take care of all. If you're in charge of the whole thing.
Well, out of all the things you cook, what is your specialty though, more than anything?
We cook the Boston butts. I'm not a fish cooker on gas. I have to cook it on the stove. I can't gauge that gas right.
Yeah, I understand.
The first batch will be golden brown, and everything else will be scorched. So I can't cook on gas, but Boston butts. Now you came to Mike Amos came to one of our baseball. We cooked for the baseball. Cooked 16 Boston butts. We fed over Jack State coach, Baird Legs.
Oh yeah.
We fed him and fed the whole team.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, we'll feed you, but we're gonna beat you in baseball. Coach Thriller. But he thanked us when he.
But over the years, and Max, you're the same way. Hundreds and hundreds of events you've cooked for over the years, and hey, what they do now, they get these slabs. You know what those slabs are, Max? Yeah. And they just, just go ahead and flay them, just flop them on there, and do y'all grill those slabs? A lot of
we grill some.
The speckled, not the
perch. Redfish.
Yeah,
the redfish
and the perch and so forth, and boy, that's
Mike, you've heard me talk about this before. When I was in Prattville, raised up, and in Troy, and working in South Alabama, crappie in the spring, we always caught those pretty early, and they're about pen size, about a little bigger than your hand.
We call them white perch, didn't we?
Yeah, they weren't big enough to to fillet out. I moved to Mississippi. The first cooking I did for crappie up here, the average size was like 1.5 pounds.
Oh, I know, big old slabs. You're right.
They big, yeah. And the guy had a picture the other day. I went to a cook last weekend. Had a picture. It's pretty close to the world record. 4.5 pound crappie they caught out of the Tennessee.
Oh man, that is amazing. Let me tell you, my cousin Jerry Renfro. You know Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Jerry loves to fish, and he goes to Tallahassee, right there at the dam at Tallahassee, on the other side of the dam. They catch yellow perch. Have you ever heard of a yellow perch?
I've heard of them, yeah.
He said they're the most fun fish to catch, but what's so great about them, they're the sweetest tasting fish. Tilapia, where did tilapia come from? Well, the same way about these white perch, these yellow perch, he says the best eating fish he's ever had.
Yeah.
But now tilapia, where did tilapia come from?
From the Nile River.
I know, but it's American. Yeah. They're raised in America.
They're raised now, but they came from
the Nile.
Nile River.
Isn't that amazing?
They call them a Nile perch.
Yeah, but you know what, Max Steele, and I had some other day from Mossy Grove. Big old a whole fried catfish. There ain't nothing any better than that to me.
I tell you, Remy, I was going to ask you. I was introduced to a fish in South Alabama that my ex-father-in-law and him used to catch on the bottom. There's a bottom fish called a sucker.
Oh yeah, they're the red house suckers.
Right, that's it.
Call them red house. They say that sucker will outpull a red horse. Horse,
Pound and a half.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law would gash them both ways and fry them whole, bones and all.
How about the head and all? They cut the head off, though, didn't they?
They got him.
Yeah, they got him.
Yeah, I eat them. You can.
Sucker's got a big square round mouth, though, doesn't it?
A lot of folks fillet them and then gash it down to the skin. But I had Rex Thrash gave me about 6, and my neighbor Sam Ellis, he was cooking brim and everything else. I said, I got 6 suckers here. Will you cook them? He said, yeah. So I took them and put them on the table and cut them about 1/4 of an inch, like you say, on each side, all the way up to the rib cage. Turn him over and do the same way. And Glenn Ellis and Marvin Ellis, Sam's brothers, they said, you won't never eat that fish. A red house sucker's got the bones in it,
That's right.
So I told him, I said, I'll make him look like Sylvester the cat, had him, old cartoon cat. And Sam cooked it. He didn't, everybody said, oh, you got to cook that sucker. real brown and crisp. Sam Ellis cooked them just like you'd cook a bass or a brim. And
All right.
I took that thing, put him out of the grease. I put him over on a paper towel and let him cool just a little. And I pulled the back fin off, and the first bite, they were about a pound and a half. And the first bite, I bit all the way down to the rib cage from the top. Pull that top fin off, and I had a mouth slam full of fish. I started chewing it, and I chewed it up good, swallowed it. And they knew right then, they turned red. They said, he couldn't do that. If the bones was in there, you couldn't have swallowed them bones.
To me,
That's right.
so, everybody, people, at the beach, they like scamp, and, of course, it's hard to get to find scamp. But to me, speckled trout marinated in buttermilk overnight and fried in flour is as good a eating fish as you'll find.
Oh, they fine.
Speckled trout. But now, why do you have to eat speckled trout right off the bat? Because it's strong, or I mean, you don't freeze. You don't freeze speckled trout.
Our hunting club, we had a group out of Freeport, Florida, Ray Dunn and all them folks and his kin folks down there, brother-in-laws probably. But anyway, they'd put out the nets and they'd catch the mullet and they'd have a bunch of white speckled trout and mullet. We had a cooking at our hunting club, and the mullet was a little muddy tasting, a little strong, but they're still good. But I looked we'd have the big grocery stacks, the paper sacks, and we'd have it full of fish. And I looked down in there and I saw them specks on the skin. I got me a plate of the speckled trout.
Yeah, and you don't eat the skin. You go ahead and sort of
we eat that too, because we scale them good.
But but it's sort of strong though, isn't it?
It don't bother me. I don't really see no strong fish.
But of course, fresh mullet's about as good as you can eat.
Oh
really,
yeah, they fine.
If you put that on a bed of grits, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's good. That's as good a meal as you can get.
Exactly right. No question about it. And then of course, mackerel. All right, now you can't eat the skin on it. You got to peel that skin off that after you cook it. Is that right? On the mackerel.
Oh,
I don't think mackerel's that good.
Oh, it's pretty good. Just going on how you cook it. Everything. Charles Headley, he'd cut it up he cut it up in chunks and soaked it in buttermilk, put garlic salt on it. And then milled it and fried it. It was about good.
Y'all making me hungry. Of course, Max Howell is our guest, and of course Raymond. Raymond, of course, all right. Everything's going to start Saturday from the campus at 10 o'clock, and then you're going to have your meeting. Now, can anybody attend the meeting, or is it just mostly for the home people?
Anybody comes.
All right. And of course, that'll be in the big building.
Yeah, we'll register at 8.
Will that be in the basement of the College Center or what?
Lunch will, but the meeting will be at the old administration building.
Yeah.
The Army's got it with Troy University,
but
they let us use it. Everybody, they've always let us use it.
And of course, then you'll eat, and then you'll gather, and we all have any kind of program or what?
Yeah, we'll have the program up at the administration, the old administration building.
And of course, some of the all-time greats from the Alabama Baptist Children's Home. You ride by there every morning going to work. Aren't you proud, though, that if they've got to do something with it, Troy University has done a great job preserving those old buildings?
I like the way they did.
What they did, they took that Alabama Baptist Children's Home, Max, and made sorority houses out of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and it's really nice. Every sorority has their own house, and the grounds are beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's
Raymond used to do, Raymond, when he was at the home, used to be bad about trying to sneak over there to the girls' dorms. They split them in half. And they used to fight over who could cut the grass over there.
Oh, yeah.
They used to fight over who could cut the grass.
We'd cut that grass on Saturday morning. We'd get about 15 or 16 lawnmowers. I wasn't that fast, so I kind of got up the line. I wasn't on the pole position, but we'd run wide open from one end of that lawn to the other.
To see who could cut the grass down there where the girls were.
22-inch lawnmowers, we ran wide open. I got way on up to the end, so I didn't have to finish fast, you know. But I could run a 12 flat 100, so I was pretty fast.
Oh yeah, well that's pretty fast.
No, not upside them nines and tens.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this: Raymond ran away from the Baptist Children's Home how many different times?
4 times.
4 times. And where were you going? And you didn't have any
Didn't
money.
have any money.
But where were you going?
Wasn't going anywhere.
You little boys left there in the middle of the night.
Just adventure, you know. You
made it almost to Luverne one time, didn't you?
Halfway.
Halfway to
The
Luverne.
county line.
And they caught him. But the bad thing about it, Raymond, they knew when they got caught that they were fixing to get their fanny whipped.
Yeah.
I mean, whipped like you would not believe. You know how your coach used to give you a paddling, Mac? Listen,
Yes,
this Mr. Cox, they said this Mr. Cox would hit you and make you almost jump 10
Yeah, he picked
feet
you up
high.
off the.
But you
table.
knew, Raymond, you little boy, when he brought you in there, you fit to get your fanny whipped.
Oh yeah, we took it like the best we
Like
could.
a man, yeah, right. And then you mope back to the.
But like I told you, time we was 12, we had the calluses. We didn't need a book.
Yeah.
Didn't need a towel. We didn't need
He
nothing.
couldn't
in
wait.
our pants.
He could not wait, Max, until he got old enough to go to the barn at 4 o'clock in the morning, every morning, to milk the cows. He couldn't wait.
Unbelievable.
And
Yeah,
then he would go to the school and he'd smell like sour milk.
Ma-
Raymond, has not life changed? How many kids you think now, in particular, even lived in the metropolitan area?
Yeah.
You don't get up and go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
Max, Donald Trump said if you could turn a lot of this child care and different things back over to the churches, the Alabama Baptists furnished that home, and I reckon some of the children got the Social Security, but the good folks in Alabama donated to that home and made sure they had plenty of money, everything that we needed. We kept 200 children going, through there all the time, and we had the workers. Most of our house parents, they were retired, get the Social Security when they're 62, and then they'd pay them to keep those houses. The man and his wife, or either 2 ladies, whatever, and each house had house parents, and they were good folks, and you had the mind and you had to work, but the main thing about that Baptist home, they teach you to work. And I tell folks now, when I was 12 years old, Mr. Clyde Headley, he was our foreman we cut from the lagoon to Crow's Pond and then a half a mile down that swamp. Anywhere a tractor couldn't bush hog, we cut it with a swing blade and a bush axe. But every job we did, we didn't have a job, we played. If it was loading hay, you had to see, couldn't you put a 85-pound bale of hay up there, beat everybody out there putting them up there.
And we had to go up against them in football. Hey, football's a piece of cake to those guys that they've been out there 10 hours baling hay,
But the first week that I worked down there, I was making 10 cents an hour.
10
when
cents
I was 12
an hour.
years old. And I asked, Mr. Clyde Headley was filling out the pay sheets, the hours. I said, Mr. Clyde, can I look at one of those? I never have seen a pay sheet, So I had 40 hours on it. He said, I got a blank here, I'll let you see. Looked on that pay sheet, excellent, good, fair, and poor. And I told him, I said, Mr. Headley, you may not never see excellent on mine, but I promise you it'll be good. You won't never see that fair and poor, because if you got those grades, you didn't get paid. And we'd take pride in our cutting. And, we turned out everything into a game. Young rabbit jump up, we'd run him to the woods. We'd catch him before he got to the woods. Cook him for breakfast the next morning.
And you know what? They'd go catch fish, and the cook, they would fry fish for breakfast for them. And if they kill a coon or a possum, she'd cook that for them too.
But these folks, they were real conscientious, the folks that worked there, and Mr. Shire and Mr. Tom Collier, he left the Redstone Arsenal. He came down twice to the home, but he was making big money up at the Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, and he gave that up to come be the superintendent at the Baptist home. And Mr. Shirey, Hobson Shirey, I told him, I said, he'd lead you singing. He could do anything,
right.
I said he could preach to you. He could do anything you needed to do. And if you needed tightening up, he could tighten
you up. The Shireys came from Fort Payne, and the bunch of Shireys up in Fort Payne, Alabama. Max Howell's our guest on the phone. Raymond, ladies and gentlemen, at Raymond Style Shot. All right, now you caught 1 million fish. How many heads have you cut over your?
One fella told me, said, "Don't you wish you'd have rode every head of hair down that you cut?" And I said, "Duh. Would you like the IRS to see your every haircut?" He wouldn't probably want to see that.
Thank goodness the uncle hadn't got anybody counting how many heads you've cut. Of course, he cut Big Jim Folsom's head. He coached Billy Atkins' head, Chan Gailey's head. You coached all the football coaches. Blakey. Charlie Bradshaw.
Yeah, Charlie. And his son, little Charlie.
Yeah, he's
Coach
dead,
Blakeney, cut his 24 years at Troy, and then...
And he had sort of a cow lick, didn't he?
No, he's got a nice head of hair.
Oh, does he? Well...
He had to
what do you do with a cow lick?
Oh, you just cut it
out. A lot of these folks don't even know what a cow lick is, do they?
Yeah. But Coach Blakeney is coming from Auburn. I told him, I said, it's bad. You moved to Auburn. You're going to have to come to Troy and get your hair cut.
And he does that?
He does it, yeah.
Oh, God.
Miss Janice has got some real estate doings in Troy, Pike County, so Coach comes with her.
Yeah. Max, are you still on?
Oh, yeah, I'm right
here.
Okay.
Okay. Max Howell calling in from Fulton, Mississippi today. And, and then, of course, after lunch, you'll have a program, and anybody can come see y'all. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we're looking forward to it. And, of course, the Alabama Baptist reunion this weekend. And how many do you expect?
Oh, we probably have a little slimmer crowd. We changed it. We used to go July the 4th, and we had a bigger crowd. But the younger ones, most folks, they have to work.
Yeah.
So
the
they don't
boys,
get off this weekend.
Exactly.
A lot of them.
Max, I coached a lot of these guys. One of the best players I've ever coached was a guy named James Davis. That was a linebacker. He played for Jim Tompkins. And you know how good Jim coach was. Well, these guys, Larry Pruitt and then his brother would have been Gary would have been a superstar. He played 1 or 2 years under, and then Ricky Thompson, one of my best friends today, the late great Jimmy Ward was a great friend of mine, and Pale Face, your old sidekick, Robert Smith. He could cook anything, couldn't he?
Oh yeah, Pale make homemade biscuits.
Yeah, oh yeah. Let me tell you this: at the hunting club, Max, you'll get a kick out of this. I used to go. They'd invite me to go. Jerry Renfro, of course, was a big member at Skinno Hunting Club, and they were one of the last clubs to allow you to have dogs. Run dogs.
We ran dogs.
Ran deer by dogs. But almost every time I went up there, of course, the thing they wanted to do more than anything was cook breakfast and cook lunch and all that, and then kill deer, and eat deer. But Hank Jr. was up there a lot.
He joined our club one year.
And he just sat over there pretty much by himself.
Oh, right. Didn't nobody bother him. He was just a regular fella,
But of course, later on he bought some property there and got a house.
Yeah, he got 1,100 acres up there.
1,100 acres
from the Davises he bought from Jack Davis and them.
I bet they didn't think they'd ever sell that property, did they?
Oh, they just sold him 1,100 acres. They still Chuck Davis.
Well, Kid Rock, Max, you've heard of Kid Rock. He's got a place right across the street, and this is right here, not. From where we sit, probably about a 10-minute drive.
No, it's farther than that. It's about
15.
It's past Needmore up there.
Past Needmore, yeah.
30 minutes or so.
But Kid Rock and Hank Jr. have places right across the street from each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a celebrity. That's a celebrity
Well,
area.
and if you look good now, they usually, when they come in to eat, of course they eat at the Tin Top a lot.
Yeah.
But when they come in to eat, this is mostly during hunting season. They'll come in about 2:30, 3 o'clock when there's not a lot of people there. And I mean, hey, they can't eat. People be aggravating the heck out of them. Will you sign this?
Yeah.
Will you sign that?
Yeah, we didn't.
Of course, we got a celebrity on the phone here, and both ways, ladies and gentlemen. Raymond Ledford is a celebrity, and of course, Max Howell's a celebrity. And Max, tell us what you're doing this time of year, man.
Well, kind of moving around, Mike, trying to get all my stuff ready to go. We'll do our statewide TV show again this year, and I'm trying to help it. There's a new sports talk radio station coming into Tupelo, and they've asked me to kind of help them put that thing together. So I'm working in that, and of course I've been involved in trying to rebuild help Prattville rebuild their high school athletic program. It's got down at the bottom right there. It's the largest high school in the state. They ain't won but 5 football games in 2 years. So I'm trying to get them regenerate that program. Then of course I've been, I'm trying to stay active with the Troy Beat at the university. So kind of busy right now, getting ready for football, and that's kind of my time of year.
Now, do you put out any publications, Max?
No, I used to, Mike. I've done the National Junior College publication we created, and
a lot of people said at one time. Now, I'm bragging on you. At one time, you were sort of the father or one of the first real recruiters of junior college players. I mean, when you started bringing all those junior college players to Ole Miss, people started to look and say, "What is this guy Max Howell doing?" You would go in there and get the best junior college players in the country and take them to Ole Miss.
Well, the first, I left Florida State, and we beat Auburn in the Sugar Bowl in January of '89. I flew straight to Oxford. And Billy Brewer, was an Ole Miss graduate from Columbus, had a long history with that university.
Played quarterback at Ole Miss. I remember when he played.
Right. He played for Johnny Vault and had all these, and right in the middle of the best junior college system in America, and they didn't recruit. I brought 11 junior college players in 2 years, Mike, and 10 of them went to the NFL.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, there were some big-time players that were just kind of sitting out there. And, of course, the academics, we had to worry about the academics. Yeah. Most of them were great players that had some academic problems.
Well, you've been around some real good ones. Emmitt Smith, and then, of course, you were a big time at Florida State was a great one. How would you compare those two people?
Oh, listen, they're two different personalities completely. Emmitt was laid back.
Emmitt Smith, the great Emmitt Smith.
Good old boy, and just got along. Dion had a knack about with his personality. It started with him back when he was a teenager. Here's what people don't remember. Well, we had Dion. We had nine first and second round draft picks in that '88 team at Florida State. If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
So, we were our starting secondary. Well, I worked with Mickey Andrews in the secondary. Our starting secondary were all first rounders. Leroy Butler played for the Packers for 10 years. He was out of the corner. They had Dion, Stan Shiver went with Dallas Cowboys, and Dexter Dodge signed with the 49ers.
All right, now, correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all never used Dion much on offense, did you?
No.
I mean, he would have been a two-way player, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. He was the best natural. Here's the thing that people don't know. He was the only guy in the history of sports that scored a touchdown and hit a home run in Major League in the same day.
That's right.
Yeah.
You remember he played Major League Baseball, too.
Yeah.
But let me just tell you guys, his best sport was basketball. He had a 44-inch vertical.
Oh, man. He could stuff it any way you wanted to, couldn't he?
He could stand under the backboard, jump up, and put his head through the wheel.
That's pretty good. But now, let me tell you, people-wise, what kind of person was Dion and what kind of person was Emmitt?
Here's the thing that people know. 99% of what you saw with Dion was scripted. All the prime time and all that. He created that image. But guys, let me tell you about him in school when he was in Florida State. First guy on the practice field, last one to leave, sit on the front row of every meeting we had, never saw him go to sleep. He was there to learn to do it. And let me tell you something else we did. We used him, and he had about 6 or 8 guys that followed him pretty close to go around. This was when this was back in the 80s. Drugs were rampant, not only steroids, but drugs were getting into marijuana and cocaine and all that stuff. He spoke to high school groups all over the state of Florida. Nobody ever knew that. That you don't have to do the drug deal, to make a lot of money, get you a good college education. And now he actually owns a private school in Dallas that takes underprivileged kids, and he prepares them to go to college.
Now, let me ask you this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dion could outrun Emmett backwards, couldn't he?
Oh, man, listen.
I mean, Emmett was not a speedster, was he?
I have held a watch on both of those guys. Emmett never ran better than 4.5, ever.
Yeah.
He could run 4.5.
See, I didn't know he ran 4.5. I was surprised by that.
No, he could run 4.5, but we started with him in the 9th grade at Escambia. He was 5 foot.
Escambia High School of Pensacola.
Yeah, it's Escambia High School. He was 5'10", 5'10 and a half, about 180. Then the biggest he ever was 195. They got to about 210 in the NFL.
What made him so good? Vision and quickness? Was it vision or what was it?
No, he had a vision, Mike.
He could see things happening before they happened. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and he could take one step laterally and one step forward off of that ladder and leave you standing in the tracks.
And he was just so smooth.
He was a smart guy. I can remember sometimes we'd be in a reasonably close ball game, and I ran the offense for Dwight Thomas, and I'd ask him, I said,
and I want everybody to know that Dwight Thomas was a Troy graduate.
Absolutely was. And I'd ask him, and I said, so why'd you step out of bounds, or why'd you go down? He'd look at me, and he said, Coach, that's a business decision. He said, I want to get up and play again.
But he was a real nice, quiet, laid-back guy, wasn't he?
Yes, a big time. But here's another thing people don't remember. Look, I never claimed to be smart guys, but I tell you what I could do. I could read a roster and tell you where the players were. That 1986 high school team at Escambia, 85 and 86, we put 19 kids at Division I.
Isn't that amazing?
The University of Florida took 7 players off that high school team, if that tells you anything.
And your biggest rival, let me ask you this, was across the water, down the road, and he was coached by a Troy graduate. Isn't that right? Down at right there at the bridge.
Oh, and Guff Breeze?
Yeah, Guff Breeze. Yeah, Guff Breeze. Wasn't that coach? Wasn't he a Troy graduate?
Yeah.
Well, former Maddox. What his name? Maddox, former quarterback.
Yeah, I was a head coach at Guff Breeze before I went to Escambia.
I didn't realize that. They won a couple of state championships too, didn't they?
Well, we struggled, Mike. We were a 4A in those days, 4A high school, and that was this was in the 80s, and the median income in Guff Breeze was like $65,000 a year. This was a high-end rich city for a small town.
But now Maddox, the former Troy graduate, he won.
That was in Milton. No, he was in Milton.
I know, but he didn't ever coach at Guff Breeze.
No, he wasn't at Guff Breeze. I told you the story when I was in Escambia. He was at Pine Forest. Did I not tell you that?
No, no.
Oh, listen, I won't belabor this one, but we were up 45-0. He was at Pine Forest, and it was about 2 minutes to go, and Emmett had already scored 145 touchdowns and rushed for over 9,000 yards.
I remember that, yeah.
And we had him on the bench, obviously. And Emmett comes running up. He said, Coach, I had never kicked the field goal. It was 2 minutes about 35-yard line. So I asked Dwight, I said, all right, what you going to do? He said, let him kick it. So I sent him in, and he kicked the field goal from about 35 yards out. Coach Maddox came screaming. The game was over, came screaming over. He was mad I had never seen a guy as mad as him. So he had a stroke. So, he accused me of running the score up and all that stuff. So, long story short, at the end of the year, I go to Florida State. I leave my son as the quarterback at the Escambia High School. So we talk every week while I'm there the next fall. About mid-season, my son calls me. He's crying one Friday night. I said, what in the world? Did you get hurt? What's wrong? He said, no, Dad. He said, Pine Forest came in here and beat us 95 to
Oh, no. No.
And Maddox Coach Maddox told Kent to call me and ask me if I've ever kicked another field goal.
Are you serious? Can you believe that?
It's the truth. I saw Coach Maddox 10 years later at a coaching convention in Atlanta. I'm going down the escalator. He's coming up. He hollers over there, you kicked more field goals. Yeah, he never let me forget that.
I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong. And of course, you can't, the big cities, New Orleans, Atlanta, and places like that have all kinds of talent. But I doubt if there's more talent anywhere in the United States of America than that Panhandle right there.
No, that's the best. It's been the best kept secret in it.
That's why that West Florida team is going to be big time one day. Don't you agree?
I agree, Mike. Yeah.
And of course, they got a new college down there playing football, West Florida, and they're going to be loaded before it's all over with.
Yeah, they'll cut into South Alabama and Detroit recruiting in that area, mainly because they jumped up. Yeah. They won 8. I think 8 this year.
Yeah, Max, I want to ask you a couple of quick questions. First of all, high school football teams are already practicing. It's the biggest, craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. When is enough, Max? They had spring practice. They go ahead and get out of school. They go to the beach for a week, and then they're back on the playing field with helmets and shorts. What do you think? The coach can go out there with them? What do you think about that, Max? Hello. We lost Max. Are you back on?
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, Max, what do you think about that? Isn't that a little too much?
Well, let me tell you something, Mike. There's 28 high school coaches in the state of Alabama that make over $100,000 a year.
Is there really?
Oh, yeah.
Led by the guy at Hoover. How much he make? About 150?
About 150, 160 in a house and a car.
Yeah. Of course, you know who that is, John Niblett. I know his daddy real well, and Josh Niblett. But you're right. The enterprise coach probably makes that kind of money, wouldn't you think?
Oh, listen, I'm telling you now, the new guy, Travel, was this past week with him. They paid him like $135.
Oh, yeah.
That's a new truck.
Well, the Eufaula coach, who was at Elba, is making well over 100. Rigby.
Well,
do you remember?
At Phoenix City. I mean, he's won 3 or 4 state championships.
Now, it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't making more than Niblett.
Yeah, he's about 150.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have, Mike, that's the reason that they got him out. They don't win.
The coach at down in Mobile, what is it that's so good?
Right? UMS or
well, of course they're all good, UMS, but across the bay over there, what?
Fairhope?
No, it's the other one.
Spanish Fort.
Spanish Fort, yeah, that's a real top program, and I'm sure they paying a bunch too.
All those schools, Mike, too. It's not coming out. And this is the thing that people have to understand. It doesn't come out of the high school budget. Those are all booster club contributions.
Yeah, I know. I realize that.
Money. They paid for their degree and for their teaching, but normally most of them got 8 or 10 assistants now. And I mean, that goes back. I was in Escambia, 85 and 86. We had like 12 or 14 coaches. None of us taught classes.
Yeah.
I ran the weight room.
See, that's the unreal thing. You're right.
I mean, I can just go tell you, this happened a long time ago.
Most head coaches now, they don't have to teach anything. Is that right?
No, they're like the FA director. They administer. They're administration.
Yeah.
Where they fit in.
Yeah.
And they get paid for it.
Now, I'm going to ask this question to Raymond. Max, you've cut everybody's hair, all these coaches' hair. And this is saying a lot because they all had different personalities. Which one was the most unique out of all those coaches? Of course, you and Coach Blake, they were real good friends.
Oh, yeah, we were good friends. All these coaches, they got their own personality, and we liked all of them.
Yeah. How about Charlie Bradshaw? How did you like him?
Charlie, he was fine.
Now, he also would be concerned about how you cut his hair, too, now.
Oh, we were going
you know what I mean? When you sort of hate to cut you, I can see it right there. Cutting Charlie Bradshaw's hair.
He talked just like regular folks, and we cut him. But we take pride in our haircut.
Yeah.
So
but he would be serious looking. You remember how Coach Bradshaw looked at you? He's real serious,
Yeah. He'd hear the fish stories, and we'd talk about sports. And he just sat there and he got.
Of course, Billy Atkins was quite a personality, and of course, Chan Gailey. What kind of guy was he?
Chan was fine as you want to see. He started off
football night, didn't he?
Football night with the raffle and everything. And Chan, he was tough. You know, Dion, he played for Chan Gailey out at Dallas, and he scored a touchdown. He dropped to his knees and pointed to the sky.
Yeah.
Thanking God for the
Gailey
letting him
player.
score.
I tell you, Gailey was very religious. In fact, he was an actual deacon at the First Baptist Church. I don't think that Clipson might have been, but I don't know if anybody else could say that. But you know what? He traveled. You know how those long nights are. People think that you get home in a hurry with a plane shoot. They're the last people to get back. They get in at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, and he'd be in the pulpit that morning teaching Sunday school.
Yeah, they said that when he first went out there, the folks knew how religious he was, the players. So he'd walk into the room if they were talking bad. They just quiet down, and wouldn't talk.
The worst thing you could do under a Gailey team was use profanity. You know, I always said this though, and it's the truth. If the Lord cared who won football games, Gailey'd win every one of them. But he don't care who wins football games. Don't you agree, Max?
I agree with that.
But you know, and of course he did have he's a great man, and all of them. Every one of Rick Rhodes probably the most underrated of them all. Rick Rhodes was a great coach.
Fella.
You know the thing about him, Max, and you'll agree with me, I think. He knew how to coach on both sides of the ball. He was a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator, and that means a lot for a head coach, don't you?
It absolutely does. And see, I've been on some staffs, Mike, where they would go, like when I was at Florida State, I was there over 2 years.
I mean, Bowden didn't even look at defense, did he?
Coach Bowden never came to a meeting.
That's what I'm saying. Big Andrew ran that.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
he did. And Coach, and Coach Bowden had a lot of respect for Mickey, and we had some really heated discussions a lot of times. But when we came together with a game plan, Coach Bowden just okayed it. We went with it.
But he was ahead of his time offensively, wasn't he? Didn't you think?
Yeah, no doubt. Look, there'll never be that program with 14 years in the top 5.
Yeah,
Won
unbelievable.
2 national championships. There'll never be another team that'll go that.
And let me say this: Bobby Bowden never saw a trick play he didn't like. I mean, he loved a trick play.
Yeah.
You look at any of his games, he's going to run a trick play, and why not? You know, some of these people say that's not sound. That's not sound.
Mike, we beat Clemson on the punt risky. We created on the sideline.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a tough ball.
I mean, he had them all kinds of things like that.
You know, we
a whole
the
foul.
Monday morning quarterbacks, and I was reading the paper. Troy University, we had, of course, back in Troy State, we tried a fake punt.
Oh yeah,
From about the 40, 50-yard line, they caught us. And I said,
Lyle Ed Rainey did that, I think.
said, what in the world do we mean fake punt, that time of the game? I picked the newspaper up the next morning. Florida State ran one from the 2-yard line, fake punt,
Yeah.
for a touchdown.
Oh, I wouldn't
They
doubt it.
scored.
But
and I
you
said,
remember,
it's a good idea.
one of the great quarterbacks of all time almost ruined his career by faking a punt. Lyle Ed Rainey, you remember that? The great one from Greenville.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, and he was a great player too, but you didn't do something like that on the Billy Atkins coach team, did you?
I'm going to tell you, Lionel Ed played for nothing but just instinct. You couldn't coach that Lionel
Oh
Ed.
yeah, and he was a great athlete too.
He was a great, and still is. I mean, he plays golf.
Oh yeah.
I talked to his brother last week at the golf tournament.
Right, yeah, Tuffy, you saw Tuffy?
Yeah.
Tuffy Rainey from Greenville.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you put 2 legends together, Max Howell and Raymond Ledford, and you got a good show today. And what's for dinner? What's for dinner, Max?
Listen, this time of year, our guys are doing either fish or steaks. We don't go anywhere in between. We did fish this past weekend, so coming up this week, I'll be doing steaks. I'll be doing some kind of either tenderloin or I'll do a filet off the grill.
Is the art of being tender the cut of meat, or is it something that you can do?
We buy the best. We buy the best cuts, Mike. Because our guys like about 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah. But I do these steaks this time of year. I do them on charcoal. I don't do them on gas.
Yeah.
And we'll sear them. You know, I'll flip them, have it fire hot. I'll sear them on both sides. Most of our guys like a medium to medium rare.
You marinate the steak at all with anything?
And I do. I got just a base marinade. I do a Worcestershire, black pepper, and garlic sauce, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'll marinate them for about 3 to 4 hours before I put them on. Then I use the marinade to baste them every time I turn them.
Yeah.
To kind of keep them moist as you go.
Well, Raymond's getting hungry here. Raymond's getting hungry. And then what for dessert?
Oh man, my favorite over here, these guys like what they call Mississippi mud pie. Mississippi mud pie is a 3-layer chocolate. It's a chocolate cake with chocolate syrup and pecans on each layer. And I mean, they love it. Comes straight from the oven. To put it warm on the table and put a couple of scoops of vanilla ice cream on top of it.
Woo, brother! That got me hungry here, Max. Max, we always appreciate you, my friend.
Y'all have a good week.
Thank you, man. And from Raymond Ledford this morning, ladies and gentlemen, the big reunion of the Alabama Baptist Children's Home will be this weekend. You're welcome to attend. Everybody start gathering around 10. Is that right?
Well, we'll all come in and register at the.
Yeah. Now we all use the basement of the College Senior. Is that where we all eat?
We'll eat. Yeah.
And that'd be a good time to go. Is to catch on when everybody's eating. Is that right?
Oh, we'll have a big crowd.
Do anybody need to make a donation?
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Okay. And
the Alumni Association and the home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I tell you what, my friend, you're always welcome on this show, my friend.
Enjoyed it.
And I know everybody enjoyed you this morning. Hope you enjoyed our show. You can watch us again today at 1:30 from Raymond's Style Shop on South Brundage Street and on your TV. Have a great day. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early for Today in L.A.